Look up at the sky right now. You see blue. Obvious, right? But if you had been born 3,000 years ago, that same sky might not have registered as a color at all. Not a wrong color, not a strange one. Nothing. And the reason has nothing to do with your eyes. It starts with one man reading the oldest poems in Western history and noticing something that shouldn't have been possible. His name was William Gladstone. Decades before he became one of Britain's most powerful prime ministers, he was just obsessed with a text, Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. He read them so many times he started cataloging every color mentioned, line by line. And somewhere in that process, he found a gap. A specific one. The sea. Described constantly across both epics, in war scenes, in storms, in quiet moments. Never once blue. Homer called it wine dark. Not a passing description, the phrase that kept the sea itself. That alone might mean nothing. One poet, one strange choice. Except iron wasn't described as gray either, it was violet. Honey wasn't gold, it was green. And the sky, mentioned constantly in a poem where gods rule from above it, was never given a color at all, which means either Homer had the strangest eyes in history or something else was happening. Something that had nothing to do with sight. So Gladstone's theory needed a second civilization to mean anything. He got 5. Researchers checked the original Hebrew Bible. No word for blue, ancient Chinese court records, same gap, Icelandic sagas, written an ocean away with zero contact with Greece, same missing color, ancient Indian Vedic hymns. Some of the oldest religious verses ever recorded. Still nothing. 5 civilizations. Zero contact with each other. One identical blind spot. At this point, the question stops being about Homer entirely and becomes something closer to unsettling. How do you miss the sky? It's not a rare color hiding in a corner somewhere. It's directly above every single one of these people, every day for their entire lives. Unless the color wasn't the thing that was missing. Think about your own day for a second. Your phone screen, a car passing by, someone's jacket. Your brain tags blue onto all of it instantly before you've even consciously looked. That tagging isn't instinct. It's trained, so early and so completely that it feels like it was always there, which raises the real question. If that tagging is trained, what happens to a color before the training exists? Linguists went back through dozens of ancient languages, tracking the exact order color words appeared in each one. And the order wasn't random. It repeated. Black and white first, then red, almost universally third, then yellow and green, usually together. Blue, nearly every single time, last. In some languages, it took thousands of years longer than the rest. In a handful of languages spoken right now, today, it still hasn't arrived, which means somewhere on Earth, right now, there are people looking at the same sky you're looking at. And the word for what they're seeing doesn't exist yet. That fact alone was enough to send researchers looking for proof, real, testable proof, and they found the Himba, a tribe in Namibia whose language has no separate word for blue. It's folded into the same word they use for green. Researchers showed Himba participants a circle of 11 green squares with one clearly blue square hidden among them. To you, that square would jump out in under a second. It's not subtle, it's not close. Himba participants took far longer. Some never found it at all. Their eyes caught the exact same wavelength of light yours would. The problem wasn't the signal reaching the brain, it was what the brain did with it once it arrived. And then the researchers reversed it. They showed a circle of green squares, shades that would look completely identical to you, no difference at all. But Himba has multiple distinct words for those exact shades. And in that test, they spotted the odd one out instantly, effortlessly, in a category you didn't even know was a category. Which means the same brain that missed an obvious color could also outperform yours in a category invisible to you. Not a worse brain, a differently mapped one. There's a name for this: linguistic relativity. Language doesn't just describe what you see, it builds the boxes your mind sorts color into before you're even aware you're doing it. Without the box, the light still lands on the eye. The signal is identical, but nothing catches it, isolates it, holds it apart from everything around it. It just folds into the nearest thing that already has a name. Which means when Homer looked at the sea and reached for wine dark, he probably wasn't choosing poetry over accuracy. He may have been reporting exactly what his mind was capable of separating. The light was there. His eyes worked exactly like yours. The box just hadn't been built yet. For nearly the entire span of human history, across every early civilization on this planet, people very likely lived under blue skies, beside blue oceans, every day of their lives, without a single one of them fully registering blue as its own separate thing, hitting their eyes exactly the way it hits yours right now, and still, in the truest sense, unseen. Which leaves one question that doesn't have a clean answer. If a color this obvious, this constant, this impossible to avoid, could stay invisible for that long simply because no word existed for it yet, what's still doing that to you right now, in this exact room? Not a missing color this time, maybe a sound, maybe a distinction sitting somewhere in your field of vision at this very second. Real, hitting you, and never once separated out, because nobody has handed you the word for it yet. Somewhere close to where you're sitting, there may already be one,